Hi, everyone. My name's Angie Solley. We're so glad you're here to talk about friendships. As you know, I work with third culture kids. So, especially for all of you who have moved to a new school, maybe you haven't moved to a new school, but you might have up leveled to new classes. Maybe you're in high school now. We're going to talk about friendships. Zayne, please introduce yourself. I'm so glad you're here to teach this class with me.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Zayne Khan. I'm a certified life and friendship coach, and I really help those who feel like they're a little bit too introverted or shy or too closed off to make the friends that you know you deserve. I think there's a lot of talk around how being extroverted is better because it makes it easier to be social, and I really want to help dispel that because that was my journey now going from socially isolated to super connected and having all the friends I want. And now my mission is to help everyone do the exact same thing. And I'm out here so excited to help teach this class today. Yeah.
Thanks so much. Okay, so you guys, we are here to help with friendships. This is an issue that affects kind of every human on earth. Friendships are pretty important. Our relationships are important, especially most of you are teenagers now, so friendships are a pretty big deal in life. Of course, we have a relationship with our family, and as you get older, like you have the ability to kind of choose your own friends now. It's not always that your parents are setting you up with play dates, like maybe what happened when you were younger. So, how do you choose friends? What do you do if you don't like your friends? What do you do if your friends don't like you? We're going to talk about all of the things, and you can tell us your specific concerns in this course and we will answer them. Today we're going to try to answer one question. What do you do when your friends are making plans in front of you without you? So your friends are trying to organize getting together or hanging out, and you can kind of sense that they're leaving you out. So this might happen at school if people are kind of talking about hanging out later and they're not specifically inviting you, or you feel like they're trying to talk around you or in a little bit of code. What do you do with this situation? This is a tough one. And these are people that you might consider, your acquaintances. Maybe they're not your best friends, but these are people that you talk to at school and you feel like they're making plans without you. How do you deal with that? Zayne, do you have any ideas? What would you tell someone who was facing this situation?
Absolutely. It's such a tough one because there are so many emotions that come up when you're in a situation like this. You're going to feel a little bit of, or maybe a lot of rejection, which is something just as any human being, we really, really don't like to experience. And especially when you're a teenager, when that's a big part of your life is fitting in and being accepted, it really stings. So the first thing I would say is let it be really sucky to feel that feeling of rejection or hurt or disappointment, whatever comes up for you, let yourself feel that. And I know you may have heard that idea before, and what that really means is try not to react right in the situation. For example, if you're in that group and you hear them, your friends overtly saying, hey, let's hang out, and they're not including you in that conversation, I would recommend not reacting right then and there in that situation because you're going to be feeling so many feelings in your body. So what I would do is give yourself some time to maybe talk through this with someone you do feel more connected within that moment. Take some time with your favorite hobby or with a family member or with someone who you trust and talk through this a little bit before responding instead of reacting to what just happened where your friends were leaving you out. And again, I really want to emphasize this is a really tough situation, and it isn't something I think needs to be rationalized or something that needs to be, oh, well, maybe it's okay. Maybe this doesn't have to be as bad as it feels right now. No, let it feel bad because it's really a hurtful situation that I think so many of us have really been through. So let it hurt. go by yourself and kind of process a little bit and talk to someone who you trust, and then figure out how you want to respond in this situation, what would be best for you, and how you want to approach this with what I think is maybe some open communication with some of these friends, if that feels kind of aligned and safe for you, because maybe it doesn't feel safe to kind of approach them as a group, but maybe one on one, maybe there's someone in that group you're a bit closer to who you can talk to in a safe one-to-one environment and kind of ask what's going on and express what happened with you. And you know, there are other ways to go about it too, and I'd love to hear your perspective too here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zane, I think that's exactly right. I think it's not reacting in that moment. It's so painful to watch other people make plans and feel like you are deliberately not being included there. So maybe it is deliberate and they really are making plans without you. Maybe it's not. Maybe they just weren't paying attention to who's around and they are assuming that you will come. We don't know all of it, but I think what you said about not reacting in that moment, if you feel the emotions coming up, trying to take some space for yourself to process first. I think that's a really big step because it's so easy for us to jump to conclusions and to want to react in a big way. And really either I can think sometimes our mind goes to like, I never want to hang out with them again. Our mind goes to, they hate me, no one likes me, I never want to be part of this friend group, or maybe I'm going to force myself to be part of this friend group even if they don't like me, I just have to work harder. So we go into these detrimental thinking right from the beginning. If we can just process, wow, this really hurts, and just feel that first, then you can start thinking, what should I do here? Do I want to talk to that one friend who I feel closer to? Maybe I'll send them a message, or maybe I'll talk to them and say, hey, did everyone hang out after school on Tuesday? I didn't feel like I got invited. What's up with that? Maybe I do want to direct it. A question to one friend. Maybe I don't want to talk about it at all. Maybe I want to talk to my friends from my old school who I know will understand. And I never want to mention this again because it was a painful thing and I don't want to make it a bigger deal. So you get to really decide here. The powerful thing to remember is that you get to decide how you want to react. Do you want to work towards this friendship? Do you want to decide that these maybe aren't your friends and you're going to look for a different friend group who you do connect with more, where you are feeling included? And the power here is with you, which is the best thing to know, to remember, because really you feel like, oh, now if they reject me, the power's with them. And that's not true. You get to decide how you want to react to this situation. So it's really important to remember that. And if you take some time to think about how you want to react, you're going to feel a lot better as well in like making your decision and knowing what the next steps you want to take are to feel better and more supported in your friend group. Does that make sense?
So great. One thing I would add there for anyone out there who maybe hasn't experienced this or experienced it a long time ago, but is maybe a little bit afraid of it happening again or happening for the first time. As we're saying here, one thing that really helps is to have your own back and have your own sense of self and your ability to know that what happens in this friend group will affect you, but it doesn't have to affect you in such a big way where you don't have anything else left to fall back on. This is really important to remember, and a way of almost maybe not preparing but making sure that you'd be okay in the situation is having your own hobbies and interests and friends outside of that one friend group and extracurriculars and things that feel like they're just for you, and having kind of a wide range of a support system where, or even multiple systems where if one thing happens here and there's a bit of conflict or challenge, you can always go to another support system to help you. And I really think hobbies can be a support system. I love playing the piano and writing and journaling. And I know when I was a teenager, that was something I could fall back on too and lean on. So having that is kind of a way of protecting you from situations like this and making you a little bit more resilient, which is something we're going to talk about as well with you here over
That's
our time
right.
together.
Oh, so true. So Zane and I are here from totally different parts of the world, and I'm a mom of four, so I'm here representing the parent perspective, but I talk to teenagers all the time. Zane, you're closer to your teenage years and on the
Yes,
other
and for
side of
me,
the world.
I have such a soft spot. I'm so passionate about helping teenagers of today. Because, yes, I'm 26. I'm not too far away from that age range. And I know it's so different nowadays than how it was when I was a teenager. And I really want to work hard to understand that experience for all of you and just help support as many teens as I can because I know it's a really challenging time for so many reasons. And I just want to help do my part in making that easier and making it more manageable for you.
Oh, Zane, that's great. I'm so looking forward to this class. If this video was helpful for you, please find out more information from us, and we would love to hear more from you and talk to you each week. So we'll be working with you for the next 5 weeks and looking forward to that. Thank you so much, everyone.